presenter. In the last few minutes, Downing Street has weighed into this. Number 10 saying that the Prime Minister believes aggressive and abusive behaviour isn't acceptable. Jeremy Clarkson has to face the consequences of that.
Tom, thank you very much indeed. That's Tom Swarbrick, our senior reporter outside New Broadcasting House. Well, let's talk to media lawyer Paul Tweed, who joins us now. Hi, Paul.
Good afternoon.
Now, I think the BBC have probably bowed to the inevitable here. Personally, I'm very sad that Jeremy Clarkson won't be presenting Top Gear anymore because it's one of my favourite shows. But if I was an employer and one of my employees did this, I think I know what I would have to do.
Yes, I mean, I don't think the BBC really had any choice here. I mean, as you know, we have very robust employment laws and guidelines in the UK. And the BBC, as the employer of the producer who was the subject of the attack, have a duty to protect him, regardless of Jeremy Clarkson's celebrity status or profile. And so they really didn't have an option here of, treating this case any differently from a normal employer-employee situation or brushing it under the carpet or whatever.
Now, we know the Director-General met both Jeremy Clarkson and Oisin Timon. If the producer, Oisin Timon, had said to the Director-General, look, I'm grateful that you've treated this very seriously, but I don't want Jeremy Clarkson to leave the programme, would the BBC have actually said, well, it's not really your decision, it's our decision as an employer, we can't take that into account?
Well, they can take it into account in relation to that individual case. In ground, a high-profile employer at that, even though many of their contracts, most of their employees are self-employed or whatever, but they have got to set an example here. And the very fact that this is a high-profile case makes it all the more reason that the BBC have to appear to be behaving responsibly. So really, regardless of what Mr. Timon's views were, and we don't know those at the moment from what I can gather, they still would have to look at this case on its merits and decide whether Jeremy Clarkson's conduct was such that it warranted his dismissal or the decision not to renew his contract.
Now, who owns the format to Top Gear? Do we know that? And the future of the other two presenters is clearly now called into question too.
Yeah, I'm not certain, who owns it, whether it's the BBC's own merchandising company or not. Probably, I would suspect it probably is, but I don't know the answer to that.
But I mean, I know that the BBC, I think, bought some of the rights back from Jeremy Clarkson not that long ago, and a lot of people thought the writing was on the wall then, and it would only be a matter of time before he left of his own volition. These three are very hot property in media terms, and if ITV and Sky came in to maybe offer them something new, they couldn't just take the format of Top Gear and just call it something else, but use exactly the same format, could they? No. I mean, the expression of the idea is what the copyright will rest in, and obviously because the format has been so clearly established and has been so successful, it will be easy to identify and very, very difficult to plagiarise if that's the case. But I suspect that we haven't heard the end of this. I mean, there is likely to be there will be certainly discussion, if not dispute, following on. This is a very, very valuable brand, as well as being a very, very important format for the BBC. And so it will be a question now of actually who owns the specific IP rights that will dictate who has control over the programme. Lots of money for lawyers in this, I suspect, Paul. Thank you very much indeed.
That.
That's Paul Tweed, media lawyer. Right, let's go to your calls. 0345 606097.